So this year was the first year that I didn't actually cry on my birthday, and I'm going to share with you how I did that. It has been a long journey for me in terms of birthday sadness and birthday blues. This is something that I have dealt with and had to deal with the past 25 years of my life, and only now have I realised the key to not being sad on my birthday. There are many reasons why you might be feeling sad on your birthday, and even though it feels like you are not normal and it's not natural to be sad on your birthday, there are actually so many reasons why you might be sad on your birthday. So if you do cry on your birthday, like I did, then just know that it is completely normal and natural, and you're not weird. If you're into astrology and all that kind of thing, you might be susceptible to the information that I'm going to share with you now, which is that around the time of your birthday, there is a lot of intense energy going on in the universe. So there is no wonder that you feel a little bit down in the dumps and a bit sad and a bit overwhelmed with these intense emotions, because there's loads of shit going on in the universe. I'm a Gemini baby, and I know that there has been years that my birthday has fell on a Sagittarius full moon, which you can only imagine is just a nightmare. And the full moon affects me anyway, but when it's a Sagittarius full moon on my birthday month, oh my god, the emotions are just so intense. This year on the Sagittarius full moon, it didn't fall on my birthday, but it was just before, and I kid you not, it was so intense. I was so emotional, and it felt like it was just out of nowhere for no reason. And I didn't even know that it was a full moon. Like, my body just knows when it's a full moon. The emotions just feel so overwhelming. And I know the difference because I feel like I have quite good coping strategies to deal with emotions and day-to-day emotions, but it just feels different on a full moon. Anyway, I digress. So there's a lot of things happening in the sky that might make you feel sad on your birthday. That's just a nice little piece of reassurance for you. I'm not the most clued up in the specific details of astrology. It's just an interest for me. I'm not an astrologist, but there is definitely going to be information out there for you to do your research on and find out what's going on for you during your birthday. Another reason would be unmet expectations and the disappointment that follows. That is certain to make you feel like shit on your birthday. If you have expectations of how your birthday should be and how you want it to be, but then everything that happens on that day and everyone just disappoints you and it doesn't end up being like that, you're gonna feel sad, you're gonna feel worthless. Your birthday is supposed to be the one day in the year that you are made to feel special by everyone around you, and a lot of us have that expectation within us. It's just naturally ingrained. So naturally, when people don't live up to that expectation, we can feel like people don't care about us, that people don't love us because they're not making this day as special and as important as you hold the value of it to be. You might also have very traumatic past experiences of your birthday. When you've been made to feel so insignificant and so small on the day that is supposed to be so important by the people who love you, that can build a lot of trauma within you. Now, everyone's experiences might be different. I can't speak for everybody, but I know for me, this is definitely something that rings quite strongly with me. And as a child and a teenager, my birthdays were always very emotional. I actually had reasons to cry back then on my birthday, whereas into adulthood, when I started to feel birthday blues, there was nothing happening in particular that was making me sad, but I just felt sad. And I do believe that that is from the lingering trauma that's in your body from feeling these things before when you was a child and when you was a teenager. Another thing that can make you feel like shit on your birthday is societal expectations and standards. When you're going on social media and you're seeing that everyone's having the most incredible birthday parties thrown for them, they've had loads of birthday presents bought for them, they've gone to a hotel room and the hotel room is covered in rose petals and balloons and champagne, and you're sat there on your birthday with a little Tesco cake and a couple of cards from people who you've not actually spoke to in years, you can feel very down about that. Even though to you that Tesco cake and the cards are actually very meaningful and important to you, it can make them feel not meaningful and important when you're seeing other people with all these different different material things that are so much more extravagant, it can make you feel really jealous and put you in a scarcity mindset. I also find that the attention that you get on your birthday is actually very overwhelming. When all eyes are on me on my birthday and I'm getting birthday posts and I'm getting family members come around who I've not seen in years, and I'm expected to be this extroverted, happy, best version of myself for these people, I get very overwhelmed. The attention can be a little bit too much if you're not used to that kind of thing. Now, I do like attention, don't get me wrong, but it just feels quite intense when it's on your birthday, especially because of all the reasons that I've mentioned before this, that there is a lot of intense energy in the air and there is definitely reasons for you to feel sad on your birthday. So when you're expected to be happy and show up as the best version of yourself on your birthday for your relatives and people that you've barely ever spoken to or you don't even know, it can feel very intense. Following on from this, I feel like there is so much pressure on your birthday to feel happy and to feel grateful and abundant and joyful, but that is not always the case. We all know that day to day our emotions are turbulent, they can flow, they can be so different from one hour to the next. You cannot expect yourself to be feeling a certain kind of way on your birthday when we don't control our emotions. Our emotions happen and we just have to let them flow. And I think that this gives you the added pressure and the added sadness, because if you're not feeling good and you're not feeling grateful or happy and joyful on your birthday, you feel like you're not normal, you feel like you're so ungrateful and that you're a bad person, but you're not. And that's a lot of pressure on little old you. And then there's the big daddy of reasons why we feel sad on our birthday, and that is existential dread. The concept of getting older and being reminded of that can really bring such an overwhelming and suffocating feeling of existential dread. Personally, when I start to get feelings of existential dread or having an existential crisis, I really shut that shit down. I can let my brain overthink and overthink and overthink to the point that I actually feel genuinely unwell, because it's one of those things that we just don't know the answer to. So for me personally, I don't like to think about those things, but when it comes to birthdays, it really is a reminder of that kind of thing. It's a reminder that you're getting old and that the years are passing. I find that any key event in life, so Christmas, New Year's Eve, birthdays, they can really bring the same kind of feeling of sadness. The same kind of feeling that I get on my birthday when I get a little bit sad, I also get that on New Year's Eve as well. And I do think that's from the reminder that another year has passed. I don't know, that might just be me, but I know that that's definitely one of the reasons that makes me feel a little bit sad on my birthday. So they're just a couple of reasons why you might feel sad on your birthday. So hopefully some of that validated you a little bit and you resonated with some of that. I mean, not hopefully. I obviously hope that none of you are going through this shit, but you clicked on this video, so. So how can we avoid this? This year was the first year that I didn't cry on my birthday, and that to me was just mind-blowing. And there was a few things that I did differently this year than what I've ever done in my entire life, because this has been something that I have tried to figure out and tried to work out my entire adult life. I've always wanted to not cry on my birthday, but I always ended up doing it. But it was only this year that things just clicked into place. Things just felt like they were making sense. So I'm going to talk you through what I did and things that could help you if this is something that you suffer with as well. So phase one is acceptance. Accepting the fact that these feelings are going to come up regardless of whether you want them to or not. Now I say they're going to come up. They might not necessarily come up, but I think it's more so accepting the fact that they could come up, should I say. I've just given you a long list of reasons why you might feel sad on your birthday. So hopefully that is a little bit of validation for you to understand that there is every reason for you to feel sad on your birthday and that you are not abnormal for feeling this way. I've done so much more shadow work and inner work this past year than I've ever done my entire life, and I've always done things like this, but I've been more focused on it this year, and I do think that's where this sort of epiphany came from of the reasons why I get sad on my birthday. As soon as I accepted the fact that yes, I might cry today, does that mean it's going to be a bad day? No, not necessarily. A lot of us tend to get in our heads about our feelings and the way that we feel, and we put a lot of emphasis on them. We try so hard on our birthday not to feel down and sad that it ends up up just going the opposite way, and we just feel even worse because we've tried to stop ourselves from feeling that way. We've tried to stop our emotions from flowing how they want to flow. I would say that all of the time that we are feeling different emotions, that is our body telling us something. If you just take the pressure off trying to feel so amazing and trying to feel the very best on your birthday, you're probably going to end up feeling so much better. And I think it comes down to having lower expectations of what the day is going to be like. And I know that's not great. I know that we all want to have high hopes and high expectations for our birthday or for anything in life, and it's good to be optimistic, but in the same breath we don't want to set ourselves up for failure. The fact that we label these sad feelings as negative emotions and things that we need to stay well clear of, it makes it so much worse when we actually feel these feelings than if we were to just accept them, accept that they are likely to happen, and if they do happen, having a bit of a contingency plan, having coping mechanisms in place to deal with that, rather than going into a meltdown and thinking, oh my god, I'm so abnormal because I'm sad on my birthday. Like, no, it's not that deep. You just need to let your emotions do what they need to do. And also realizing that you don't necessarily need to have a bad day because you've had a bad morning or because you've had a bad hour in the morning. Your emotions can change at any time. So if you have a bad morning and you're feeling really sad, but then you stick with that narrative, then you're bound to have a bad day. But if you just let the emotions flow through, then the emotions will soon pass and you'll be feeling happy again before you know it. So acceptance is so important, and this applies to absolutely anything in life as well. Just letting your emotions flow and detaching from them. I literally wrote in my journal on my birthday morning, after a morning of doing all self-care things, I wrote down that I'm aware that feelings might come up. I'm aware that I might feel a little bit sad today because that has been all I've ever known. But I now have the tools to deal with that and to make myself feel better and soothe myself. Make myself feel better in ways that my inner child never knew how to do because she wasn't shown how to. This for me was so healing for my inner child. And as a result of accepting the fact that negative emotions might come up, I actually had the most wholesome, amazing day, and I didn't cry one bit. I didn't even happy cry, which was such a refreshing change for me, and it was so nice to feel stable. The next phase, perspective. Perspective is so important, and it kind of follows on from what I was saying just now. When your mindset is fixed in a certain way, so potentially to feel like your birthday is destined to be shit, guess what? Your birthday will probably be shit because you've thought that way, and that is what you believe in your mind that you are worthy of. If you are stuck in victim mentality and thinking that people don't care about you because they've not made a massive fuss of you on your birthday and not made everything as picture perfect as you wanted it to be, then you're just gonna attract experiences like that into your life, and you're just gonna find more opportunities to prove yourself right. That is just how our human brain works. So you need to really train yourself into believing that you are worthy of having the birthday of your dreams, that you are worthy of having a good day, and also that you are worthy of receiving everything that you ever want. It might sound really woo-woo to think like this, but it genuinely does work. There is a science behind it. It's all wrapped up in confirmation bias. Whatever you believe to be true will be true. That will be your reality, because that is how worthy you deem yourself to be. Again, something that can really help with your perspective is to do shadow work and inner work. It's so much easier said than done to say to you, don't be a victim. You don't need to be a victim. You're stuck in the victim mentality. But you're not going to be able to know how to make those changes unless you actually look deep and figure out why you are stuck in the victim mentality. Give yourself time to get to know yourself and get to understand why you feel like you are unworthy of having an amazing birthday. Really get deep on that and uncover all of those things. Having a good, healthy self-care practice, ritual on your birthday morning really sets the day up to be a good day. A lot of us have morning routines and we have healthy habits and rituals that we do on a daily basis, but we completely fucking chuck these out the window when it comes to being on holiday or having a birthday or it being Christmas or any other significant event. and then we wonder why we're feeling shit, why we're feeling sad. Let's just go back to why you actually do these things on a daily basis in the first place. That is probably because you want to feel better, you want to feel good, you want to feel healthy and happy. So why is it that on our birthday we neglect all these things because it's our birthday and we can do what we want to do, we can eat all the shit that we want to eat, we can eat chocolate for breakfast, whatever, but then we wonder why we're feeling like shit. This is something that you do learn over time, going on to fitness and health routines and having healthy habits and practices and rituals in place, but then falling off them and then getting back onto them again. You really start to notice what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So yeah, just being aware of that and recognizing the things that make you feel good and actually making a conscious effort to just take an hour out of your day to do things that are going to make you feel so good. Wake up and do a meditation, stretch your body, do a nice yoga practice, do some journaling, make a nice healthy breakfast and drink some water. These things are really going to set you up for the day and they're going to make you feel so much better. It's so important that we don't forget about the tools that we use to make ourselves feel better just because it's our birthday and just because it's an excuse to do what feels comfortable. Because a lot of the time we use these special occasions and birthdays and holidays to resort back to things that our inner child used as coping mechanisms back in the day. We don't even realize it. We just think, oh, I'm letting my hair down, I'm just having a little bit of a rest, which that is completely fine. But I think it's also so important to not just fully go back into that way of living, to bring with you some of the healthy habits and rituals that actually do make you feel better and incorporate some of that into your day. I feel like this is the same when you go on vacation or go on holiday, just to make a conscious effort to do little things that make you feel a little bit better, a little bit healthier. Whether that's just having a green juice to make sure that you get your minerals and vitamins in for the day, or whether that's doing a 10-minute meditation or going for a walk, whatever it is, just making sure that you do something that is gonna be actually good for you and not just good for what your inner child is screaming out for, which is probably all the things that are bad for you. The final thing is autonomy. You are the creator of your own life and you have the power to make your birthday into whatever you want it to be. So we spoke previously about expectations and standards for our birthday and what we want other people to do for us to make us feel better and for us to have a special day. But the truth is, we can't rely on any of that. We can't rely on external things to make our day good, because if we just relied on external things to make us happy constantly, we would just be treading water trying to keep afloat. It would just be so exhausting and feel hopeless. The key to happiness is to realizing that happiness isn't actually external from you, and the only way that you can find true happiness and peace is to find it within yourself. So obviously you can do that in the way of self-care practices and rituals and being healthy, but in this context you can do it in the form of taking control and taking ownership of your day. Your birthday is your day. You can choose however you want to spend it, and I know some people might be working or have other commitments that they're doing on that day that means that they can't celebrate it how they would want to. That's completely fine, but you still have a choice. You have the choice every single day to create your reality and to create your dream life. So if you want to have a big party for your birthday and you want everyone to shower you with gifts and you want a cake, this, that and the other, make it happen. Start thinking about this months in advance and plan a birthday party. Get everyone to get together, book a venue, invite all the people that you love and get organising. Communicate to other people what you actually want for your birthday. I know for me, people ask me what I want for my birthday and I would fall into the trap of saying, oh, I don't know. I don't really know what I want for my birthday. And this was me trying to make other people think what I would want for my birthday so that they could surprise me, because I love a surprise. I love it when people can just read my mind and know what I want, but that's not that common and people can't read your mind. So you have to communicate with people what you actually want if you want that to happen. You can't just sit there and expect things to happen without voicing it to other people or without doing anything to make it happen. And I know that when we were kids, that was probably what happened for us. If we were fortunate enough, we would have other people buy presents for us that they knew that we would like, and it would be a lovely, amazing surprise. Or our parents would book a birthday party for us and it would be so fun, and we didn't have to do any thinking. We were just made to feel really happy and special without doing anything. But unfortunately, that is not the case when you are adults. When you get past the age of 18, that shit goes out the window, and you have to take control of it yourself and make your birthday what you want it to be. No one else is going to do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can think, right, I'm going to crack on and I'm going to get excited and plan my dream birthday party. If you want an aesthetically pleasing Pinterest cake for your birthday, go on TikTok, go on YouTube, go on Google, find a recipe and make one yourself. Learn the techniques of how to decorate a cake, buy the equipment, do everything that you need to do to make yourself a cake. This is what I did this year, and it was so fun. I truly felt my inner teenager light up. It was such a healing moment for me to make the cake that I've always wanted to have, just a nice special cake. Oh, I've always wanted that kind of thing, but I would always end up getting like a Tesco cake or something like that. In order to not feel that disappointment again, I just took matters into my own hands and I made a cake for myself. It was exactly how I wanted it to be, the exact flavors that I wanted it to be, the exact color, decorations that I wanted it to be, and it was so much fun doing that, and it was so healing. I encourage you to just really get clear on what you actually want for your birthday. I know it's easier to not think about it, and it's easier to just hope and pray that people will do things for you and it'll be the most amazing thing ever, but you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. So getting clear on what you actually want for your birthday and what you want to get out of it will be so crucial in actually having an amazing day. This could even be having a solo birthday. This is what I did a couple of years ago. I've just never really enjoyed birthdays as much as other people. I think because there's just a lot of expectations around birthdays, and I'm always sad on my birthday, and I really didn't want to be sad this year. Like, this is going to be, I'm determined that this is going to be the first birthday that I don't cry, because I cry every single year and it's awful. It's like the worst feeling ever. So yeah, I thought like coming away by myself, I can kind of control my own destiny. And it was so good. It was so much fun. I loved it. Having a whole day to do exactly what you want, oh my god, that is amazing. You could completely change the narrative around your birthday and not even set yourself up for disappointment at all if you spend that day by yourself. And I know that sounds like a bit lonery, but that actually was so healing for me. So yes, those are all the things that I did this year, a little bit different, to actually ensure that I didn't end up crying on my birthday. And I know they seem like really simple things and things that you probably might already know, and it might be common sense, but sometimes we need that reminder. We need someone to make it crystal clear for us, for it to actually click into our brains. So if you're a crier on your birthday, just know that you're not alone. You've got this video that you can refer back to. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if this is something that you resonate with and it's something that you have experienced. I would love to see how common it is. And also let me know down in the comments what your zodiac sign is. And extra bonus points if you let me know what your sun, moon and rising sign is, purely out of nosiness, purely out of curiosity, because I'm really interested in that kind of thing, and I would be intrigued to see if anyone who watches these videos is into astrology too. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video.